Hi everybody, this is Doreen from Privies and Prims Needlecrafts. Welcome to my floss tube. This is mostly about cross stitch, and I do have one punch needle pattern to show you today, and then I have another one that I'm going to be doing, and I'll show you that too. So I have, I guess it was the beginning of January or the end of December, I kitted up 7 patterns with fabrics and threads and everything. And I am mostly a monogamous stitcher. So the only reason I did that was a lot of them were smalls, and I did it without having to go buy any floss. So I had enough floss where each one had their own floss, and it was from my stash. So I did not want to have to go out and buy floss because I had multiples using the same color, or I wouldn't have done it. So I have completed all 7 of those projects since January 1st. And I started January 1st was my blessing sampler, and I finished it in one day. And then the next day I did another small one and finished that in one day. So when I say I finished 7 projects, I started and finished 7 projects in the month of January so far. Today is January 21st. And it sounds like a lot, but you'll see several of these are really small, so they didn't take long at all. So I'm going to show you all my finishes today, and you may have seen some of them on my last floss tube, but I'm going to show them again today just for anyone new that's coming over to visit. And thank you for coming. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And so I'm going to go through these. So I may be able to tell you in the order I stitched them, but I'm not. You know what? I'm sitting on the couch. They're in a pile next to me, each one with its pattern, and I'm going to just pick up and go by that. So the very first one I did, and I'm pretty sure I showed this on my last floss tube. This is just a little tiny pattern, and it says Stitching Calms the Soul, and it is by Terry Richards. Now this was, I think it might have been a retreat package. I'm not sure, but someone actually shared it with me, and I appreciate that so much. So this is how I finished it. It's tiny, tiny, as you can see. So that was really easy to do in one day. This is a slider box, so you could put little scissors in there, extra needles, seam ripper, whatever you need it. And this is painted color olive green, and this is going to be a small swap. So I go into more detail on this on my last floss tube if you want to know more about that one. Okay, the next one I have here is very teeny tiny. See, it's just that teeny tiny, and that may have only taken an hour or two. And I did put my label on the back. Those are from Ever Emblem. They have their own website. It's iron-on. And so this is a combination of 2 patterns. So on, I think the last floss tube I showed you this freebie, and it's a needle roll. So you can see the Ever Blessed at the bottom, and you can see the Saltbox House. And that's what I used for this. And then the little border print at the top was from another pattern I had from the Humble Stitcher that I haven't stitched yet, but I wanted something to fill in that top space. So that is a freebie from, and I should have wrote it on here, but I talked about it on my last floss tube, so if you want the details, you can go back there and look. And this, I think, was just on a piece of Osnaburg. I don't always, in fact, I very rarely will talk about what's the floss I used, what's the fabrics I used, what count was it. I don't usually buy new fabrics. Mine is mostly gifted or thrifted. And I do have one to show you that I just bought recently, but it's very rare for me to do that. So a lot of times I don't know what the fabric is, and I don't know what the count is. So that's why I don't give those details. Okay, the next one is Pineberry Lane, and this is called Bountiful. And I had to change some colors on this. If you see those little sheep, like, we know they're sheep because they're white, but when I stitched them, they look like dogs. And Well, I can only show you the chart, but I'll insert a picture here and show you what they looked like when I first stitched them. I think I still have that picture. And then, so I did some changes. I had to do some changes to the shape, and I also changed the color because the white wasn't showing up. And again, this was just mystery linen. I don't even know the count. I think it's 36, 32 or 36. This is how they turned out. So I had to change the color of the dress because it was a really pale, like sage green. At the top of the grass, I think was the same color, but I changed the color on the stems and leaves. I changed the color of the dress, and I changed the color and the shape of the sheep so that they would show up. So this, of course, obviously isn't fully finished yet, but let me show you again. If maybe we can get these in the same screen so that you can see the changes I made. There we go. Don't be afraid to change colors. I have to do it all the time because, you know, I'm just pulling linen from my stash and then the threads don't show up. All right, another one I showed you, I think last time, was this Prim Sisters Winter Journal. Now, this is Primitive Betty's, and several people asked me where they could get this pattern. Her Etsy shop is closed. It says, you know, it's temporarily closed, but I did contact her, and she said she doesn't know when she'll open it again or even if she will open again. But I changed the colors on this because I wanted to bring more blue into my decor. So see the red there on the flowers and the sign at the top? And I changed mine to blue. And that's my finish. Now this is just ironed back, turned to the back. It's not, this is Osnaburg, and I coffee stained it, and I'll show you close up. A week ago, Osnaburg was $4.99 on Amazon. I got 5 yards of it because I couldn't find my yardage, and I just found it up in the loft in the drawer. So now I have a whole lot of Osnaburg. This is a sign from Hobby Lobby. You can still read the words through it, but this will cover, I think, everything. But I'm still not sure if I want to put this on here. I painted it. It was white with black words. And I just did a watered down brown on the back. I painted it and sanded it. And then I just don't. I love this, but nothing as a finish is grabbing me and saying, that's it. That's what I want to be. So I think I'm just going to hold on to it. I might make it into a pillow if I can find the right fabric. I took it with me to Hobby Lobby and looked at the fabrics, and I couldn't find one that matched that blue that I really liked, but I'm going to a quilt store on Friday, and I may take this with me and try to match it with something I really like. And then I would just make a pillow and attach this to the front of the pillow. That's what I'm thinking I really want to do. And I can use this for something else. So that is one, let me see. We have 1, 2, 3, that's 4. And then 5. This is the one, I think I did this one on January 2nd. This is Asbury's Echoes sampler. And it's called This Is the Day. And this was a really easy finish. I just put it in this thrift store frame, and the color was right. I didn't even have to paint it because I usually paint my frames. It's a little close, you know, to the edges, like down here and stuff, but it's okay. I don't mind. I like this finish, and I just put it out here in my living room. So that is number 5. And number 6 has been sold. I will insert a picture here. This one was sold in my Etsy shop, and you can check there. There is some little Christmas pillows there, and I will be adding more things as I make them. But it won't be like a whole lot of stuff. It'll just be sometimes. So this is really dark, but it is Primitive Stitching on Etsy. That's where you can get it. So that was what, number 6? I'm going to lose count. All right, number 7. This was my New Year's Day stitching. Asbury's Echoes. And if you, but it says bless this year, but now it says bless this year / home. I had asked her if she would chart the word home for me so I could do bless this home. And she liked that idea so much that she made the chart change. And so now if you buy this, it will have the option to do one, either year or home. So you can do whichever one you like. So, and Rhonda's a friend of mine. She does not mind suggestions at all. Someone said on her video that they felt that that was like an insult, disrespectful to the designer. Rhonda doesn't mind at all. I mean, and I didn't ask her to change the whole design. I just asked her to chart the word home for me. And she did. And I think I showed this maybe on my last flosstube, but this is my finish. That's a thrift store frame. And the details are on my last video as to how I finished that one. All right, I've lost count, guys. You're going to have to tell me where I am. The next one, whoops, I finished yesterday. This one only took me 3 days to stitch. Now, that's crazy even to me, I think. But, you know, I'm single. My children are grown. I don't even have a dog to walk. I'm retired. I have all day. I haven't left my house. It was snowing. Then it was freezing cold. We had, I think this morning I woke up, it was like 8 or 10 degrees outside. So the first night I worked on it, I was binge watching Virgin River on Netflix. And that's a whole nother video. Yeah, so I binge watched it in 2 nights, the whole season. And now I have to wait. And that's really hard to do. But, you know, we have no choice. I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts in case you haven't watched it. But there were some steamy stuff. And I just take that little red thing at the bottom and I just slide it forward because I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch, you know, people in the shower together or whatever. I don't care if they're supposed to be married. I just don't want to watch it. But I did watch, you know, how you go like this. I did watch Jack's moves after the bachelorette party. Watched a little bit of that, I'll confess. And if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the other steamy stuff, I just fast forward past it till we get past it. But I love that show, and the writers are so good. So anyway, okay, back to it. So I binged watch until 1 o'clock in the morning. I was stitching. And then the next day, I was watching Christmas movies, I think, all day. And then yesterday, I was watching the inauguration on YouTube most of the day, and I watched some flosstube and stuff in between all of this. But anyway, that's what I did. I sat in my recliner and I just stitched and watched YouTube because I don't have regular TV. So that's what I did. And that's how I got done, because I did take a nap. People say, do you sleep? I slept 9.5 hours last night. And I took a nap yesterday afternoon. And I did get up and cook, and I washed dishes twice, and I still got all this done, which is amazing. I stitch the sewing method and I stitch in hand, and I know that's a lot faster. So this is my most recent finish. And it's Brenda Gervais, the maker and the mender. And it says, the needle, be it though so slim and slender, is both a maker and a mender. I put my initials up here. I'm not sure what these initials right here were for. So I left that out because I didn't know what that was for. But this is my finish. I'm going to hold something behind it. Hopefully it shows up good. I don't have my board. I love this. Isn't it pretty? So I did have to change these little flowers in the urn. I made them blue. That's Battleship. Weeks Dye Works Battleship, because the color was like a light sage green and it didn't show up on my fabric, which is 32 count, and I coffee stained it, but I don't know what the linen is. So that is my finish. And like I said, I did change some of the colors. Like the one blue bird, the two blue birds that are together that are two-tone. One of those colors, I think the light color was supposed to be that sage green, and I used Dolphin, Weeks Dye Works Dolphin, so that it would be a lot lighter than the Battleship, because that's I think Sampler Threads Freedom and Weeks Dye Works Battleship I was using, and they're very close in colors, so I needed something lighter, so I used the Weeks Dye Works Dolphin, which is a great prim blue, and it's very light colored. So there is my stitch. I haven't really done one like really pretty like this before. As far as the sampler, I really like it, and I guess it's going to have to go in my bedroom because the living room walls don't have any more space. So I'll start filling up the bedroom walls. So that is my latest finish. And when it got done yesterday, I still had some time before bedtime. And because I'm addicted to stitching and I can't just sit there and stare at the walls, so I was actually waiting to see Melania's gown for the ball last night. I wanted to see what she wore. And please don't leave any political comments. They're just going to get deleted because that's not what we're talking about. I just wanted to see her gown and see what she wore. So I had some time, and I was again watching YouTube. So I started a new one, and I'm looking for it. Oh, it's right here. So this is something that I just got on Etsy, Country Rustic Primitives, and it's called Lead Me in Your Path. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the bottom where the name is, because, and I'm going to put 2025 right here for the date. I don't know what, I might just leave the name off the bottom and shift things around so it fills up that space. Because I would want to put my name. And maybe I will, I don't know. But anyway, that was my start last night. And this is what I got done. And this is on Osnaburg. So you'll see these letters are a little bit rectangle. See how they're wider than they are tall? That's because Osnaburg is 36 one way and 40 the other way. So it distorts things. So if that's important to you, don't stitch on Osnaburg. There is no J. The J is not charted. So that's the way it's supposed to be. So I was able to finish that last night. And this is also coffee stained Osnaburg. So that is my new start. And I have one more. Okay, I actually have two more. I forgot about one. All right, this one was a finish, and I'm not sure if that was finished on my last floss tube. This is Pineberry Lane. It's on her website, pineberrylane.com. This is my work, Pinkeep. I changed the date to 2025, and she was really sweet and charted that for me. And I think it's okay if you're stitching this, let me know, and I can forward it to you. Just the 2025. I guess that's okay. I don't know. But I wouldn't want everybody bothering her, asking her for it. This is how I'm going to finish it. I just painted this frame, so it still needs to be distressed and then antiqued. And I'm just going to hold this up inside here if I can and show you what it will look like. There we go. The linen color is not showing up the way it really looks. It is Weeks Dye Work Dove Swigart, and it is blue with a hint of green in it and kind of really aged looking. But it looks tan on the camera. I changed the color in the flowers, I think, for one of them because it didn't show up. But that's how that one will be. Okay. So those are my finishes. I lost count. Maybe you were counting. I think there's 9 because I still have one more. I keep forgetting this one. This is Punchneedle, and it is, I guess it's like a magazine rack, and it's a wicker basket, and I got it at Goodwill for $5.99, and I painted it and kind of distressed it, and then painted some more because I wanted to add some brown, and it is like a magazine rack, and I put my project bags in here. Like when I had those 7 project bags kitted up, this is where they went. And it's right next to my recliner under the pie safe. And again, this is, I don't know if I said it, this is a threads that bind pattern. And I'm going to say it took me a couple years to do this, but that is because I put it away. I put it in timeout, just kind of got tired of doing it. It's very big, as you can see. And I would take it with me to retreats. It was still on the gripper frame. And I would take it with me to retreats and use it to teach people how to do punch needle embroidery. Now, I did add a black sheep. Can't see what you're seeing here. Hopefully. Let me try to peek. Okay, I added a black sheep, because every bunch has to have one. I did change the colors of the flowers, and then for the sheep, I just randomly picked colors. Some may be Valdani, some may be DMC. If I do DMC, I use all 6 strands. If I use Valdani, I usually double it. I punch on number 1, and I use the Ultra Punch needle. So there you go. And then I glued it on with Aleene's tacky glue. And that is where I put my project bags. So now, this should be project 9. So now that I have all of those 7 finished plus 2 more plus, 7 finished plus 1 more because the punch needle was not part of the 7. So that little teeny tiny pillow was an addition. So that was number 8. So now I have to choose what I'm going to do next. And am I going to kit some more? I think I'm going to kit maybe 3 or 4. I am going to start not being monogamous. And I'm going to do Teresa Kogut, With Thy Hands. And I talked about that on my last floss tube. I'm waiting on the fabric. A very generous friend is gifting it to me. And I'm going to do that one. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I ordered the fabric from Etsy, and it got stuck in Kansas City somewhere because of the blizzard. And it just left Kansas City this morning. So that one, okay, that one is coming in the mail. The other one I'm going to do is, so I'm going to work on that just kind of off and on throughout, mix it up with the smalls. And then I'm going to do the Christmas stitch thing where the 25th of each month you work on something Christmas. And that one I'm going to do O Tannenbaum by Brenda Gervais. And that one, a friend is sending me the floss for. I have the pattern, I have the box. So I'm excited to do that one because every time I look at that, I think there's like 6 or 7 different patterns within that pattern. And it's just like, looks like so much and I don't want to do it. So this is a way I'll get it done. Never say never. I said I would never do crown and cross stitch. And that was just over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Never will I do crown and cross stitch. I just can't do it. Now, here I am all day long doing crown cross stitch. I'm addicted to it. So if you're afraid to try something, a lot of people, when I show punch needle, they say, oh, I've always wanted to do that, but I've never tried it. Just get out there and try it. But please don't buy the junk kits at Hobby Lobby or Walmart or Joann's. If you're serious about it, buy an Ultra Punch needle. The Old Tattered Flag has them. There's many on Etsy that have them. The Old Tattered Flag has the needles, the floss, the weaver's cloth is what you need for this type of punch needle. They don't sell it at the big box stores. You would only get it from Etsy or a specialty store. Some cross stitch stores may have it. The Shepherd's Needle has it. If you order from them for your cross stitch, they have the weaver's cloth, they have the needles, they have the floss, everything you need. And you can start with DMC, but you'll need good quality hoop. You need a Morgan no slip hoop or a gripper frame. The Morgan hoop is cheaper than the gripper frame. So if you're just starting, I would suggest the Morgan hoop, maybe like a 9-inch. And you need a good needle, which is the Ultra Punch is what I use. And I've been using it for probably 25 years. I still have my original needle. So much on that. I need to show you a punch needle pattern that I'm going to do, but I have to get it and hopefully I won't forget. So when I was in Hobby Lobby, I was looking for fabric, and I was looking for fabric to do some more project bags, since like if I'm going to kit up 4, 5, 6, 7, I want some project bags that kind of go with maybe the theme, the season, whatever. And I have some, but I wanted to make some more. And I really don't like making them. I really don't like sewing, but I also really don't like spending the money it costs to pay someone else to make it. So I'm going to make them myself. So I bought more. I've done them last year. So I bought some more of the clear plastic at Hobby Lobby, and the fabric was 40% off. And these are the fabrics that I got, and they coordinate. They're grungy looking. They look like they're dirty and old. They were the only thing I found that really looked primitive. I wish they had more. But the stripes will be the inside, and then the flowers will be the outside. I do like the clear vinyl bags because I like to be able to just pick up that bag and see what's inside it. I don't want to have to, unzip everything. And I probably will make the little notion bags to go with it. And I haven't made thread beds yet, but I have all those little plastic snap things to make them, and I may try to make one of those. But the only time I use one of those is if I go like to a stitching group. I don't use it at home. I have a little pottery dish here with a sheep in it that I put my threads in. So that's not as important, but I do use the notion bags. Like, a friend made this one for me. I love it. I use this one more than anything, and it's only 8 by 10 because I do a lot of smalls. And she made this for me. So that's where my threads go. I don't like to just drop them into the project bag. So that's that. One thing I know I do want to do next is this one. And the one I'm currently doing, when I'm finished that, I'm probably going to start this. Because I've been staying home so much, and I love staying home. And if you look at my Facebook page, which you should be following it, because I post every day on my Facebook page. Each night before I go to bed, I try to post an update, like a progress update of what I'm stitching on. I post my finishes there. So if you want to see what I'm doing in between the floss tubes, either follow me on Instagram, which is Doreen Brannan, and it's BRANNAN.Privies and Prims on Instagram. At the end of the video, there's a picture of a business card. Always at the end of every one of my videos. Picture of a business card. It's got all that stuff on it. It's got the Instagram. It's got the Facebook. Facebook is just Privies and Prims. So if you follow me there, you'll see when I start this, when I finish it, what my progress is. So that is what I want to do. Oh, it's called Project Quarantine, Stay Home and Stitch. And I just put like a meme kind of thing on Facebook this morning about staying home. And this is Brenda Gervais. So I did order some linen, a very generous viewer. Thank you so much. She was so kind to give me a gift card for 123 Stitch. And I decided to use it to buy a piece of fabric. And this is what I got. And it's kind of a grayish brown. So it is 1/8 yard, 36 count Oracle Edinburgh linen. And it's really pretty. I don't know yet what I'm going to use it on, but it's going to be on something that, is really nice. I won't use it like on just these little smalls. I'll use it for something really nice. And also at Hobby Lobby, I got this just because I thought it would be good, like just a good neutral to put on the back of little pillows or something. Let me get that other punch needle pattern and show you what I'm going to do. All right, this is Not Forgotten Farm, Lori Brecklin. And I think I showed this last week and said I was going to start it, and I just haven't started it yet. So I need to do this. That's a needle book. This is the punch needle pattern that I did on the basket. So you can see the colors are very different, but that's what that looks like. It's called Garden Tour. And I think that's all I have for you today. If there's anything else, it'll have to wait till the next one. So stay warm, everybody. It is freezing cold here. We may get some snow this afternoon. I will be in Jonesboro, Tennessee on Friday having lunch and then meeting up with some friends. If you're in that area, let me know. I'll tell you where we're going to be and we can meet up. So next time, see you on the next video, and stay stitching and stay warm. Bye, everybody.